Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back to the sixth video of the Power Pages 30 Days Learning Challenge series. If you're new to this learning series, then just wanted to give a quick introduction. This is the new initiative I took this new year, where I'm gonna produce 30 videos where I'm going to cover all the topics related to the Power Pages from basic to advanced. So my main agenda is to cover all the fundamentals and the advanced topic to cover related to the portals from the designing and customizing the components, administration of the components, and the deployment of the components. So we have done 5 videos till now. So if you just wanted to check out all my previous video, you can just subscribe my YouTube channel so you will automatically get notified. So just a quick recap of all the topics that we already covered. So introduction we already covered. It's a very important topic if you are just getting into the portal implementation. Just check out all these videos where I discussed about all the fundamental concepts of the portals and the Power Pages. Understand the components of the portals and how the licensing and the pricing works. That is very important for the sales team, especially where they have to decide like which model or which licensing strategy they have to go with. And in the fourth video, we discuss about the how to set up the Power Pages trial instance for 30 days. And in this video, I've also discussed about one of the most common question. How to extend the 30 days trial of the portal. So if you just wanted to check like how to extend the trial of the portal, so you can find the answer in that video. In my last video, I discussed about the forms. So that is one of the key component of the portal that is basically used to insert the data in the Dataverse. And today our topic is basically the list. So list is basically used to display the data. So whatever data you have submitted in the Dataverse, it is basically used to display on the portal. OK, we can display the data on the portal using forms as well, but form is basically can display the single data. But if you have the list of business data that you have to display in the form of grids or the subgrids, then you have to go with the list. OK. So without further ado, let's get started with the implementation. OK, so if you just wanted to know the fundamental concepts about the list, you can just check my second video. I'm going to put the link in the description. So where I already discussed about each and every component in more details, but today I'm also going to discuss about the list in more details as well. OK, so let's get started and get into the implementation. All right. Okay, so as I told you a couple of times, if you have to do any sort of implementation, if you have to design the portal, first of all, you have to come to the Power Apps Maker portal. Okay, so when you install the portal, you get to see two apps. One is your designer app, portal app, and second is your model driven app. Okay, and both the application is basically used to design your portal. Okay, so this is basically the app that is providing you the low-code, no-code capabilities. And for the advanced configurations and development, we have the portal management app. Gradually, Microsoft is, migrating all the capabilities into the portal applications. So you don't need to navigate away from one app to another app. OK, so just stay tuned with all the updates that Microsoft is releasing. So you will get to know automatically that what are the components you can directly customize from the portal app, or what are the components you can do it from the model driven app. OK, so today our topic is what is list. So I'm just going to open this portal app first. Just click here, click on edit, open in Power Pages Designer Studio. So in my last video, we created a form that was actually used to insert the data in the Dataverse, and we are actually trying to create a portal. We are trying to create a event management portal, or you can say the training portal, where folks or the The candidates participant can can come to the website. They can register for the events. Okay, so there are gonna be a couple of personas for this particular portal, like the organizers who is going to organize the event, and we have the speakers. Okay, so those who want to those who want to deliver the session in a particular training or in a boot camp or an event, we're going to have the call for a speaker forms, so they can submit their details. And we're going to have the participant forms as well, so that the participants can register for a particular events. So currently the plan is to use the three personas: organizer, speakers, and the participants. Okay, and there are some admin related stuff as well. So for example, like if I want to publish events on the website, so that I can just go to the website as an admin and publish couple of events, trainings, and all. So in the last session, if I just wanted to give a quick recap, I actually I actually created a form that was actually inserting the data in the Dataverse. So it's a publish event form that was actually capturing the event details and was submitting it to the Dataverse. Okay. So today what we're going to do is whatever data we have submitted. So let's say, admin has submitted 5 events for next 6 months, and we want to see the list of all the events, right? So to see the list of all the events, we have the component called list. So in order to create the list on the portal, as I told you earlier, we have to create the placeholder first. We have to create a container that we call it as a page or the web page. So first of all, we need to create a page here. So let me call this page view events. OK, I'm just choosing the layout as a blank layout right now. So just click on add. Now it asks me like what components I want to add on my page. So I want to add a list here. So I'll go here and just click on the list. So I don't have the list that I supposed to be exposed on the portal. So I'll click the new list. And since I have to choose the table, because list basically use the views in the dynamic 365. Okay, so we have if you know the basic concepts of the Dataverse, we have the tables, we have the forms, and we have the views. So views are basically used to display the list of data, right? So we are not going to create any HTML table or our custom component in order to show the list of data. We're gonna reuse the views that we have already created in the Dataverse. All right. So in order to expose the view to the portal, first of all, we need to choose the table. OK, so the table that I have already created is the Power Guide events. So this table basically holds all the events that I published. And there are a couple of views here. So active, inactive, Power Guide, associated, lookup views. So these are all the out of box view that are made available when you create any new table. But if you want to create your own views, you can anyways go to the data setup part and you can create your own view as well. OK, but just for the demonstration purpose, I'm just going to choose the active Power Guide events here. OK. And if you want to just choose the name of your list, you can choose it. So I just wanted to keep the default. And if I go to the data section, there are a couple of properties are there. So if you want to show the list of the data on the portal, what are the features that you want to enable? Create a new record. So this property basically tells you like whether you want to directly give the option to create the record, same like the dynamics, right? In the dynamics, when you see the list of data in the view, you get the option to directly create the data as well on the toolbar, right? In the same fashion, you can allow user to directly create the data from here. So obviously, if you want to allow user to create the data directly from the list, you need to choose the form, right? Because if they have to create the data, they need to fill the details in the form. So, so there are a couple of options whether you want to display the form, whether you want to redirect them to a separate page, okay, or you want to redirect them to a URL. Okay, sometimes what happen is if you want to create them a record from the external website. Okay, so then in that case, you can simply select the URL and pass that hard-coded URL here. Web page is basically used when you want to open that form in a separate page. And form is basically we use when you want to open the form in a dialog box. Okay, so user don't need to navigate away from the list. They can simply, like you can see the same experience. I am on the Power Pages Studio. But when I'm creating a list, it opens a dialog box straight within the Power Pages Designer Studio. I don't need to leave the the Designer Studio to create my form. So it basically depends on the user experience that you want or your customer wants. So just for the demonstration, I'm just choosing this form option. And if I choose the form option, I need to choose the form, that what form you want to use to create the data. So as you know, like in my last session, we already created a form called publish event. So I'm going to choose the information form. So that is already a form that is tagged to this publish event page. So whenever I want to create a new record, it will automatically open the publish event page. OK, view details. So view details is basically if you want to, directly view the data that is available in the list. In the same fashion, you can choose the form and what form you want to use it to display the data. Same with the edit record. So I'm using all the properties here, information, and delete the record. So if you want to give the privileged user that they can straight away delete the data, so you can provide the delete record as well. So just for the demonstration, I'm enabling all the features here, but just always make sure like just enabling this settings doesn't mean that you can directly start using those features on the portal, because these features are directly tagged to the permissions as well, right? Because here you want to create the data and you want to view the data and then you want to edit the data. So and the delete the data. So you wanna perform the CRUD operation on the event entity, right? So definitely you need to have the CRUD permissions on the event entity. Otherwise you won't be able to perform the transaction. Okay. All right, last is the settings. How many number of records you want to see it on the list, okay, on the grid. 10 is the default value, so it depends on your requirement. Sometimes you want to show 20 records or 50 records. It's up to your requirement, but it's always recommended that use 10 or less number of records in the list from the performance point of view. Okay, and then enabling search option is basically used to search the data. So if you have the list of data, you always want to search that data based on the particular field value. Okay, so I'm just enabling this option as well. So we have enabled all the properties, whatever we have within the Designer Studio, but we have some more advanced settings as well that we're going to look in the portal management app. Okay, so all the features are not there in the Designer Studio. So rest of the features we're going to discuss about that in the portal management app, but just for the demonstration, I'm just clicking it OK. And you can see the list will be appear on this particular page. All right. So sometimes it takes time to reflect on the page. So you can just switch to the another page and come back here. So it automatically refresh it. So you can, just start seeing the data. Now, I just wanted to, view the result of it. So I just want to click on sync to sync my changes to the portal and click on preview desktop. But as I told you, like I haven't enabled the permission here. So obviously you will see the the notification that you don't have permission to view these records. Because if you remember in my last session, I have given only create privilege on the event entity, right? Because I just wanted to allow user to create the data or to insert the data in the Dataverse. I haven't provided the read operations privilege, the delete operation privilege. Since I've enabled all these features in this list and I don't have enough privilege available, so first I need to go again here. I click on the list, okay, and straight away I will go to the permission. I don't need to, go to another page or leave my page to enable the permission. Click on the permission here. So I already have a permission that I've created in my last session. So just click here and go down. So I only have the create privilege right now. So I just opt the read operation because I just want to read the data. I want to update the data as well, and I want to delete the data. And I want to give this privilege only to the authenticated user or the logged in user. So save this record. So permission is quite necessary to enable it just to protect your data from the unauthorized access. Okay, so just sync the changes and click on preview. Now I'm expecting that the data should be displayed here. Okay, so I have the privilege and all the features I can see. So I have submitted 3 events yesterday. So I can see all the 3 events here, and the searching option is also there. So if I want to search with the simply the name of the events log power pages, so you can see here it's displaying here. I have the create option directly. So here you can see it is showing like to search on the partial text, use the asterisk wildcard characters as well. So wildcard character type search is also applicable here. Okay, and you have the create option directly here. So if I click on create, I can, straight away open the form here and I can submit my data. Okay. So as I told you, I opted the option called form. So it automatically opened that in the dialog box. I don't need to navigate away from the page. But if you want to open that in a separate page, depends on your requirement, you can choose the option web page there. All right. And what are the options we have that we enabled to view details? So I can view the details from here, but you can imagine like I have opted the option called information form. So information form is basically in the insert mode. So I cannot edit the data here because it's opening in the insert mode. So in my last session, I discussed about how to create the form in the insert mode, how to create the form in the edit mode or in the read only mode. So in the edit mode, we had a couple of options that we explored already, and we have done the practical implementation of that, but there is one example remains like the query string type of form. So we're going to discuss about that today, just to edit or view the details of the data that is being displayed in the list. Okay, so if I right now click on the view details, it's opening the insert form, and same goes with the edit. It's opening the insert form, but it is expected to be open the form in the edit mode so that I can directly update that information and update that from here. But delete is anyways the option. You can directly click here and delete the data from here, right? So these are all the options you have that you can enable. But let me first discuss about some other settings. Then I'll discuss about how you can, open this particular form in the edit mode so that you can directly update the details. Okay, but some of the other information I want to discuss about that here, like we have some of the columns here, like currently we have 2 columns in the list, event name and the created on. Sometimes you may have some of the requirement, like first requirement is you want to add some more columns in the list, or you want to remove some of the column from the list. Okay, so how you can add or remove the columns from the list? So it's quite simple here. You just come to the list and you have the option called edit list. So this is basically to edit the property of the list that we have already done. Edit views. So this is the property that actually allows you to add or remove the columns. So we have taken the active power guide events view. So just click on this. So this actually takes me to the Dataverse table where I can directly, add or remove the columns from here. So now you can see here, right now I have 2 columns here, but if you can just click on add column, I can see the list of all the columns that we have in the Dataverse. So what I want is I want to, select other option like event start date. Okay. I want to choose event end date as well, and probably event mode and event location probably, yeah. So these are the column I want to display here, and I can just simply uh, change the property of it from here. If I want to move left or right the columns, I can just click here. I can take this created column to the right. So it's quite simple. I just want it to fully available here like that. All right. So this is the one thing. I'll just save this. And there is one more settings that most of the times that folks are asking, or in the community, we can see that question, that these are the column names that basically generated at the time of creation, right? So we cannot change the name of it. If we anyways change the name of it, it will reflect in the Dataverse or in the CRM wherever we are using it, right? But sometimes what happen is there is no property on the view that, for example, like here the name of this column is event name, okay? But I just want to display on the portal only event, not the name. Okay, event start date, I want to replace it with the start date. Event end date, we want to replace it with the end date. Event mode, I just want to remove the event word from all the columns. Okay, so in the view, if you can see here, there is no property actually. If we go to the property, it's basically about the width, right? There is no property to change the name of the column. The column name can be changed, obviously. You can I have already saved that. Okay, if I go back, go to the setup, no, I think it go to the data where I can see the tables, and I just wanted to let you know like how you can change the column name. So this is my entity, and table data, views and forms. So let me go to the forms. So this is my form here. So basically what I want to say is you have to change the display name of the column. Okay. If we just wanted to only change the label name on the view only, then that is not possible. Okay, so if you change the display name of the column, that wherever you are referring that column, whether on the form or the subgrid or on the view, so it will change entirely in your application, right? But sometimes what we want is on the form, we want to show it like event name, but we just only wanted to change the label of that column only to the view, right? So that is not possible in the dynamics actually, or in the Dataverse. So here you can change the property, or you can change the name of it from here. So this is basically a label. You can change it for the form, and if you want to change it the display name, it will entirely change your application, right? But we have the property here. So first of all, let me sync the changes here. Go to the preview. So first of all, we let's check like all the columns that we have added here. You can see all the columns that we have added from the Dataverse can display here. So I was talking about changing the column name. So if I go to the Dataverse here and go to the tables, I'll find my table name here, event. This is the only way you can change the column display name. So just go to the column here. And if you just wanted to change the name of this event name, where it is, here it is. Okay, so I need to change the name here. Okay, but this basically change if I change the the name of the column from here, it will applicable in the entire application. Okay, but if I just wanted to change only for the view, then there is no way in the Dataverse, but this is quite common requirement. So we can manage this thing using our Power Pages itself. So go back to the pages. So this is my list. So this property is basically not available in the Power Pages Designer Studio yet, but I'm damn sure like going forward, you can directly handle this kind of properties directly from the Designer Studio. But just to manage this setting right now, I am going to the Dataverse portal management tab. OK. So just to directly open this same list in the portal management tab, I'm going to edit list, go to data and click on the portal management tab. So this will open the same list in the model driven app. OK, and here you can see there are a lot of other properties as well that I was discussing about. So these are some advanced capabilities. You have the map view, calendar view. I'm not going to dive deep into that in today's session because in the advanced part of it, I'm going to discuss about that in more details. But you can just imagine like you have some more settings in the model driven app. But if you go to the option, you have the custom JavaScript option where if you want to customize something, if you have to write some custom business logic, then you can write your custom JavaScript here. But if you could just go down, there are a couple of other options like grid configuration. OK, so create option we have already enabled, but sometimes you want to enable the download option as well so that whatever list of data is being visible on the portal, you want to just download that in the Excel format. So you can just click on the download and just give this label download events. So this will allow user to download all the events in the Excel format. OK. So view action is basically the features that enable at the list level, and item action is basically the features that applicable at the individual record level. OK, so details, edit, delete, run the workflow directly on the record. So these are the item properties. OK, so if I enable the workflow, so then in the list here, you can see the name of the workflow. So I'm going to discuss about that workflow property in the later session. If we have to run any server-side business logic directly on the particular record we have in the list, we can enable that workflow properties as well. But let's keep this session quite simple. And we discussed only about the common properties that we often use it on the portal. But in the advanced session, I'm going to cover all the properties of it, like the workflows and all. But I just wanted to mostly focus on the override column attribute properties. OK, so this is the basic property that actually override the column properties that we already have in the Dataverse. OK, so what we can achieve it from this, if you expand this, you can just choose the column here. So this will list down all the columns that you already have for this particular table. So what I want to do is I want to change the name of this column. I want to override the properties of it. So I just choose the column called event name. And here I can provide the customized display name, and this will basically applicable on top of the Dataverse property. OK, so let's say if the name of the event name in the Dataverse is event name, and I want to give the name called event only. OK, so what I will do is I will come here and provide only event. And I can also change the width of it. So let's say if you have provided the width property in the Dataverse called 100, but I want to give it here 150. OK, so this 150 will be applicable because the property that I'm changing here is only applicable for the portal. OK, but if you change the property at the Dataverse level, at the Dataverse table level, then it will be applicable for the CRM users as well. But sometimes what happen is if the same view you are using in the CRM and in the portal both, and if the portal user are making changes in that properties in the view, it will be applicable for the CRM users as well. But your CRM user don't want to do that, right? So event name I just want to change, and probably event start date I want to replace it with the start date only. Same goes with the end date. Let's keep it end date. And we have event location. So let's keep it location only. And what else column we have? Event mode. So let's choose the event mode as well. And let's keep it mode. And the last column we have the created on. And let's change it to published on. All right. Save this entity list. OK, and go to the My Studio. click cancel, sync the changes to the portal, and preview the changes. Okay, so as soon as I do that, it should change all the column properties. So now you can see here all the column names have been changed, right, that we have provided. But if I go to my the list here, edit views in the CRM, all the columns are the same as previous, right? So here if you can see in the view, the column names are event name, event start date, event end date, but in the portal we have changed the properties because there are a lot of business scenario where you want to keep the different labeling, text message, content on the portal because it is going to expose it to the customer, and the CRM is the application which is basically going to be used by the internal user. So sometimes there could be discrepancies or some kind of requirement that can mismatch, especially related to these kind of properties. So you can manage that using advanced configurations. All right. So this is about that. Now let me do the last configuration so that we can directly edit this record. OK, so obviously, if you have to edit this particular record, I need to create a new form so that I can edit this record. OK, so what I'm going to do is click on the new page and I'm just going to provide like add it event. OK, choosing the start from blank, add form, and I just want to choose a form here. And I'm not going to use the information form because this is the insert form. So this form basically tagged to the publish event. So I cannot use this form. I need to create a new form. And here I'm going to choose the same table. I'm going to use the same form here, but this is I'm going to provide details called edit event details. The form will remain same, but I want to open it in the edit mode. OK, go to the data, and in the data I need to choose like what should be the mode of this form. So I'm not going to insert the data. I'm going to update the data here, and that should be the existing data because tape list is basically opening the existing data available in the dataverse. So I'm choosing the update an existing record here. On submit, let's keep it simple for now. Display a message. Your details have been updated. All right. So and hide form on the submit. So this basically, if you hide this option, if you just turn off this option, then you can see the success message along with the form that you have updated. But if you hide it, you can see only the display message. So it basically that setting. OK, so I'm just keeping it off right now. Captcha, I don't want to keep it here. Attachments not required. Click OK. All right, so as you can see here, I actually created a form, but currently I have not provided all the properties here. So if I again go back to the form, if you can see here, I have provided an option update an existing record. And I discussed that about properties in my last session as well. If you want to update any data in the Dataverse, no matter whether it's a portal or any external application, or your own component, whether your custom code like C# application, JavaScript, whatever it is. OK, so the main thing is that if you have to update any data in the Dataverse, you need to have the unique identifier, right? If you don't have the unique identifier of that record, you cannot update that. You need to have the GUID. So in the case of Dataverse, each and every record that you got that you have inserted in the Dataverse have got the GUID. OK, and it's a 32-digit unique identifier. So you need to tell the portal if any of the user try to open the record or update the record, you need to tell the Dataverse that OK, go and find this particular record based on this unique identifier and open that into the portal. right? So how we can give the reference of it? So let's go to the portal management tab to configure this property, because this property is still not there in the portal designer studio. So if I come here, it opens the same form here, but here, if you can see here, the query string parameter has selected automatically. OK, so in my last session, I told you if I want to open any record in the edit mode and the read only mode, I have three options here: query string, current portal user, and record associated to the current portal user. So I'm not going to discuss about rest of the two features because I've already covered the example of it in my last session. So if you would just wanted to check it out, like I'm going to provide the link in the description so you can just check like what is the significance of these properties. But since I'm going to talking about here, like I want to open the record based on the unique identifier. So the unique identifier here is the ID, and I'm going to use in the query string. So you don't need to change anything here. Just wanted to make sure like your record source type is query string. So save and close. OK. And going back to the design studio here. Now what I want to do is I don't want to keep this page in the main navigation. So in the main navigation right now we have the publish event and the view events, and I don't want to keep my edit event option in the main navigation, because I want to open this page only whenever user clicks on a particular record, right? Otherwise it doesn't make sense to open this record, right? So I just click here and move it to the other pages. All right. Now, if I go to the view events, I just want to link this page to my list so that I can edit or view the details. So click on edit list, click on data, and wherever I'm editing the details. So here, if you can see here, view details. So I need to provide the edit event details form, or wherever I'm using edit record, I need to provide edit event details. OK, click OK, seeing the changes here. And preview it. So if I do the preview, it will open the edit form so that I can directly update the data. So this is the details. OK, what I want to do is I want to change the mode of this event from virtual to in person. OK, so I'll click here, edit, and now I'm expecting the data should be editable. So you can see here all the details has been auto populated. I want to change the event mode to in person and submit the details. So as soon as I submit, it will update my details in the Dataverse, and I don't need to even refresh the list that I have in the page. It is automatically refreshed. OK, now you may have the question here that we are opening the form directly, but why we have created the additional page here? OK, so yeah, you are right. You can only create the form if you want to edit the details in the dialog form. OK, but if you want to allow user to edit the details in a separate page, then only you need to create a page here. Otherwise you can only create a form and you can just tag your form to your list so that you don't need to create a separate page. So just to give a simple example of the page, let me again go to the edit list, go to the data. So edit is, so in the edit, instead of choosing the form, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the web page here. OK, and in the web page, I'm going to choose the page that I've created to view the events. This is the one, add event. OK, so edit event is the page I have created, this one. OK, so that is going to uh, uh, open my record in the edit format. So click OK, sync the changes. So I'm going to show you the different experiences based on your business requirement. If you want to edit the record or view the data in the dialog form, you can only associate it with the form. You don't need to have the page. But if you want to open it in the separate page, then you can create a page and then tag that form to that particular page. OK, now if you can see here, I just change this edit from form to page. So if I click on edit, this will takes me to a different page. So this is the edit event. And as I told you, this is basically tagged to the query string. So if you can see here, ID is the parameter, and this is the unique identifier of this record. And it opens the data in the separate page. OK, I can go back. And if I want to choose the view option is still tagged to the form only. So it opens in the form. OK, I haven't changed the form in the view, so it is still display like this. So let me go here again, edit list, data. In the view, I think this one, web page, edit events. Web page and then edit event. So I am just opening right now everything in the separate page, seeing the changes. So this will change the property of editing or viewing the data in the separate page. All right. So that's all about the list today. I know like there are a couple of other properties are there, but I'm going to discuss about that in the upcoming session. Okay, so we have a couple of properties like how to display the map, how can we display the calendar properties, how we can write the JavaScript. So I just wanted to take the step by step process and the baby steps, just to understand the portal basic concept. I don't want to directly go to the coding stuff. So I would recommend like you can start practicing the stuff so that you don't forget whatever we are doing, because soon we're going to jump into the advanced topics as well. So I want like you to understand all the basic concept of the list forms and everything. Then only you will be able to grab all the advanced topic. All right. So thank you so much. In the next topic, I'm going to discuss about the multi-step form. And multi-step form is also one of the most important topic, where you can, insert the data in the dataverse in the multiple steps. Okay, so thank you so much again, and take care and stay tuned for our next video. If you haven't subscribed yet, just subscribe to the channel so that you will automatically get notified whenever I'm posting a new video. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.